let's bring in our guest here, Ryan Rudominer. He is the co-founder of SACNFLTaxBreaks.org, and you are working on some legislation that will actually make it so that the NFL must pay taxes on whatever money they make as an organization. How much money are we talking about? What does the NFL itself make?
Well, first off, thank you so much, Brian and Larry, for having me on. I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you.
And as you said, yesterday we announced the formation of SACNFLTaxBreaks.org. It's a new national grassroots advocacy campaign to sack the NFL's anti-fan behavior and its nonprofit tax-exempt status. And to answer your question, the NFL generates $10 billion annually in profits. It receives $1 billion every year in government assistance. And we formed this group because we just don't think it's right.
Wait, I want to break that down for a
Sure.
second, Ryan, because you said the NFL generates $10 billion. That's what does that exactly mean? Are you talking about the NFL organization, the 501c6, their income is $10 billion? Or are you lumping all the money that the teams make on ticket sales and network deals and stuff?
Well, I'm first talking about the entire league that generates $10 billion. And, of course, it's the most profitable sports league.
Right, but a lot of those $10 billion are being taxed.
That's right. They're being taxed. The teams pay taxes.
Well, our issue is with the league office itself.
And how much do they make?
They make approximately $260 million a year. And
tax-free.
By the way, Commissioner Roger Goodell, $29.5 million a year.
Okay.
And you think that that's an outrage and that they should be taxed because you feel like, well, that's a little excessive.
Well, absolutely. When I talk to people about the NFL being a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization, they're absolutely amazed. It's just one of those things that seems so hard to believe. So
let me ask you, this bill that you're pushing through, and it looks like you've got Tom Coburn of Republican of Oklahoma and Angus Main, independent out of Maine. They're both co-sponsoring this. Is this just singling out the NFL, or is it singling out sports organizations in general, or is it abolishing the 501c6 category altogether?
Well, no. First of all, the legislation that our group strongly supports only goes after leagues that make more than $10 million a year that have 501c6 status. Major League Baseball actually volunteered to abandon its tax-exempt status in 2007. I would say the biggest targets of this bill are the PGA Tour, the NHL, and the NFL. But I just want to say first and foremost, I'm a huge football fan. I live and die by my favorite team, and I can't wait to watch the Super Bowl this Sunday. But
why should you subsidize the league? Yeah, no, I get it, Ryan. I do.
Well, you have the support in this measure of Senator Angus King, an independent from Maine, who caucuses with Democrats, and Senator Tom Coburn, a Republican of Oklahoma, Dr. No, man who's always out there, trying to find waste in government, fraud and abuse and that kind of stuff. He's with you on this. Do you think you'll have enough support to bring this thing actually forward? It's one thing to say we're launching the effort, but if you don't really have, anybody behind you up on Capitol Hill pushing the issue, do you think you can get this pushed through?
Well, we, of course, launched yesterday alongside Dr. Coburn. And, this really gets back to our supporters. My partner in this actually started a petition that now has over 310,000 fans and taxpayers. They're Democrats, they're Republicans, they're from different religions, genders, ethnicities. This is a strong coalition. And look, you'd think it would be a no-brainer when we have a deficit of $640 billion that Dr. Coburn's Senate colleagues would sign on to a bill like this. But unfortunately, it's just not the case.
Let me ask you this, because I think, and listen, I don't necessarily disagree with this, but my concern is that you're sort of singling out the NFL because they're successful. Because look, you said $250 million, but that's just to sports teams. Well, guess what? Here's another 501c6 for you. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They fall into the same category. Their annual revenues are over $250 million, and they use their money to lobby Congress. They don't use their money to actually bring something that we all love, football. They're using it to lobby Congress to get amnesty for illegal immigrants. Why are we letting them off the hook with nonprofit status?
Look, we're focused on a sports league that, some things are just so obvious, and this is one of those things that everyone knows that the NFL is the most profitable sports league on the planet. And as taxpayers and fans, we're subject to blackout rules where we can't even watch the games in public stadiums that we fund.
Yeah, and they're protected by antitrust. No, I hear you on that. And I have a lot of complaints with how they go about things. My only worry, and Ryan, thank you for joining us today. Again, it's SACNFLTaxBreaks.org, and I can totally see why people are on board with this. And I probably am too. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're singling out the NFL or the PGA
but
sports. Why just sports?
I like
for
Roger.
Trade
I
organizations?
like Roger Goodell. I've never met him, but I like him a lot, and I think he's been good for the league. But $30 million in salary?
Well, if he can get, who are you to? Excuse me, Mr. Obama. It's not if he can get that money. Why shouldn't he get that money?
It's not. That's
And
not the issue.
he's paying taxes on that $30 million. He pays income taxes.
But a trade organization that pays its top guy $30 million.
Okay, then U.S. Chamber of Commerce. How much is their top guy?
I think they're right.
Why just single out the NFL?
I think they should. I think I supported this guy. I think it's a good